So let us start then. I think most of the people have already joined. It's 37 I can see altogether. Today we'll be again discussing the NMR, and we'll try to solve the problem what has been given in the last day, yesterday. So we'll be focusing depth spectra. That means we'll be solving that problem to make you clear again, and then we'll move to two-dimensional NMR. That is particularly one is Koji and head core. Okay. What I find is that I got answer from around 9 people. So 9 of your friends have submitted, and unfortunately none of the answer is correct. Okay. So let me discuss the problem. If you look at the problem here, what you have is you have the two types of information. One is the information based on 13C depth. Okay, another information is based on proton NMR. Okay, so you have to consider both of them, then you have to come to the answer. Okay. What I find is that most of the people you have given this as your answer. Let me draw that one. Let me draw that one. So you have given the answer like this. So you have this is your molecule you have given. So you have 2-methyl, 2CH2, and a carbonyl compound. Okay. First of all, I will ask one thing. Where the carbonyl carbon peak generally appears in 13C? Can anybody tell? Range, tentative range is okay. I'm not telling exact value, you have to tell. What could be the possible range of carbonyl carbon in 13C?
180 to 220 parts.
Yeah, so that is correct. So you have around 180 and maybe more than that. Okay. Or even you can take a little bit lower from that side also. You can take like 160 and above. Okay. Do you see any value given that one? 13C decoupled, this is your normal carbon, right? So normal carbon, do you find any value given that one? You have 26, you have 36, you have 84, right? So you don't have any value above 160. So there is no question of having any carbonyl carbon. Did you get the point? Second is you have kept the methyl and the CH2 side by side. Okay, the methyl and the CH2 you have kept side by side. What is the nature of this particular ethyl in proton NMR? What will be the nature? Can anybody tell? How the peaks will appear in proton NMR if you have ethyl? So you do see the coupling, right? You have a methyl and you have a CH2, they are connected to each other. So CH2 will be, can tell CH2 will be quadrate and methyl will be triplet. Yes or no? So
Yes, sir.
If you have ethyl group, you will see a quadrate and a triplet. Do you find in the proton NMR quadrate triplet? Is there any quadrate triplet? No, you have two singlet. So definitely this is not the correct answer. I got one answer, this one. Wrote hexane or like either this one or maybe given this one. I forgot exactly. Maybe the upper one has been given. Like some cyclic alcohol. Okay. That is also not correct, because that you will understand after a while. Okay. So let me explain what could be the possible answer. So first, how to approach this problem? You have to start from the beginning based on your formula given, right? So when you have a formula, quickly you have to find out whether you have any kind of double bond equivalence, okay? So if you look at your double bond equivalence is 1, how you are finding? You have hydrocarbon, corresponding hydrocarbon you can take. Okay, so you have 5 carbon system, so you will have the saturated hydrocarbon C5H12, right? So you have 12 minus 10, you have 10. So 10, this by 2 is equal to 1. So you have double bond equivalence is 1. What does it tell? If you have one double bond equivalence, it means it can be an unsaturation. It can be an unsaturation, okay, and it can be a ring also. Okay, both unsaturation and ring, they represents the double bond equivalence. Okay, that I have explained earlier. Now, what else information you are getting? So you have the formula C5H10O. This is your compound. How many carbon you have here? You have 5 carbon, right? You have 5 carbon. Proton decoupled 13C means the 13C value given here. How many? You have 3 number of carbons value given, right? So normal 13C means proton decoupled 13C. You have 3 carbon value given. That means 2 carbon must be similar. So you are lacking 2 carbon, right? That means 2 carbon, they are identical. So that's why you are getting. Suppose you have, if I take this is 1, this is 2, this is 3 number carbon. Either this will be having, here you will have 2 carbon, here we will have 2 carbon, this is 1. You have the permutation combination, okay? Here you can have 1, this can be 2, this can be 2. And then you can have the opposite, like you have this is 2, this is 2, and this is 1, okay? So those are the possibilities you have. That means at least, I mean, here 2 carbon, they will have the same nature, right? Similar type, okay? So like here, if you consider you have 1 carbon is matching with another carbon, and here also another carbon is matching with another. So that means 2 carbon, they are identical with another 2 carbons, okay? So that's why we are getting 3 peaks. Now you have to come to the DEPT, and most of the cases you have regarding DEPT you have analyzed properly, but you couldn't catch the point. So let us look at the DEPT. You have DEPT 90. If I look at DEPT 90, no peak, no peak, there is no peak. That means there is no CH, okay? So there will be no CH. When you consider this cycloalcohol, you will have a CH, right? This is CH, this is CH. So there will not be CH. That means these are not correct. Then what else is given? You have 35, 135. So 135, three things given. Here you have 135, 26. You have a positive. So 26 positive. That definitely will be methyl, because 135, what are the peaks it shows? CH, CH2 and CH3, right? Among these, CH and CH3 will be positive phase, means upward direction, and CH2 will be negative phase, means lower direction, right? So you got 26 peak is showing a positive. That means it can be CH and CH3, but 90 is telling there is no CH. There is no CH. So that means it has to be CH3. Okay, so it is methyl proton, methyl carbon. Okay. Then you look at to 135, 84 ppm. That is negative. This is negative, means opposite direction. Okay, so obviously this has to be CH2. Got it? So you got CH3 and CH2. DPT 135, 36 ppm. There is no peak. That means it has to be a carbon having no hydrogen. Okay, because 35 will show CH, CH2 and CH3. If there is no peak appearing at 135 DPT, but you have the peak corresponding to that particular ppm, okay, in proton decoupled 13C, that means that carbon has to be a carbon where you don't have any hydrogen connection. So that means 136 you have the normal carbon peak, but that carbon doesn't have any 135 peak and any 90 peak. Okay, so that means that carbon has to be, this is a carbon you don't have hydrogen attached to it. Got it? So if I summarize this information, what I am getting is you have, okay, let me, before summarizing that one, let us come to the proton NMR. So from proton NMR, what information you are getting? You are getting a peak around 1.3, okay, singlet, which is having 6H. You are not utilizing this integration value. So this is 5.95 means 6. Okay, so that means you have 6H. Got it? And at 4.4, you have 4H. So integration is 4. So that means you have 4H. Okay. From 13C DEPT, what information you got? You have methyl, you have CH2, and you have carbon. Okay. And in proton, you are getting 6H coming together and 4H coming together. So that means I can consider 6H means 2 methyl and 4H means 2 CH2. Okay. So these are the total information. You have 2 methyl, you have 2 CH2. Okay. And now if you come to overall component, what you are getting is you have 2 methyl, 2 CH2, 1 carbon which is not having any hydrogen, and 1 oxygen. Okay, these you have to connect in such a way that methyl and CH2, they cannot be side by side. Okay, you cannot put methyl and CH2 side by side because you don't have any splitting. So how you can arrange? Okay, remember this carbon means this carbon doesn't have any hydrogen connection. So what you can do, start from that carbon. Okay, So this carbon cannot have hydrogen connection. So put this carbon to methyl and to CH2. Okay. Got it? What is left here? So you have kept 2 methyl, 2 CH2. Now methyl and CH2, they are not connected to each other. This carbon is perfectly having no hydrogen, matching everything. What is left? You have oxygen. So you cannot put oxygen anywhere. What you put the oxygen here and just connect. Okay. So this is your structure. So your structure is this one. Are you getting? This is your structure. Can anybody try to give the name of this compound? So how will give the name? You have heteroatom, it is cyclic, so heterocyclic compound. You can put numbering starting from the heteroatom. Okay. What you are getting at 3 position 2 methyl. So you have 3 dimethyl, right? Now what you have oxygen, so oxa plus you have 4 membered, so Et, tetra is coming from Et, plus you have saturated compound, no nitrogen, so ANE. So overall the name will be 3,3-dimethyl oxytene. Okay, so this is structure and your name is 3,3-dimethyl oxytene. Okay. Did you get the analysis? Do you have any queries here? No? Okay. So I'm moving to the, yes, tell.
Sir, that now oxygen bond, that ether bond will not affect the delta value.
You have the delta value around 4, right? This is you are
Yes.
getting. So what is the delta value for simple alcohol? What is the methyl, this value? It comes always 3.5 ppm nearby. Okay.
Yes. Yes, sir.
You're getting. So that means this will come obviously 3.5 and above, because we have another carbon is attached. So if you are decreasing the number of oxygen, I mean hydrogen, your value is going to get increased. Okay. And that is we are seeing here. Now you have another impact, that is you have bond angle and these all those things. You have the cyclic compound, okay, and that
Yes,
will change the S character and it will increase the, like you have S character, P character. So those will have further impact. Okay. Ultimately, you will get the value above 3.5, and you are getting here around 4.3 or 4.4. Getting?
Okay, sir. Yes, sir.
Why in the integral value it's 5.95?
Yeah, so that is a genuine question. So why integral is 5.95? Why it is not 6, right? This is your question. Why it is not directly 6? If you see the
Yes.
difference between 5.95 and 6, the difference is only 0.05. Okay. How we take the integral that I am telling?
Yeah.
When you do the NMR, your signal will first come. Okay. Then you have to take the integral by fixing the position, okay, area. So what we do is we use the cursor, okay, place the cursor here and then drag to this position, means where the two ends of the peak is touching the ground, okay, that two position we fix it, okay, we drag it and immediately that value will be projected. Okay. Now, how human being can be so perfect? Understood my point? So maybe very little tiny differences will be there, but the thing is, whatever you are getting, it will not be too much varying. Okay, it will not be varying too much. It's a very little tiny differences you'll get. Okay, any other?
Sir,
Yes.
sir, in proton NMR, then see how to know, sir? This one 6-8 proton and 6H, and this one also 4H.
No, this is given. This is given. When you do the proton NMR, I told proton NMR has few informations, right? You have
Yes, sir.
splitting information, you have integration information. This is the integration information you will get from the proton NMR. Okay, you don't need to remember. This is machine will show you. When you have the proton NMR, to complete the NMR, you have to do this area calculation. Okay, you have to put the cursor of your the mouse you have to use in the instrument, and you have to drag it.
Yes.
The value will be projected. Okay, this is automatic. It will come. Are you getting?
Yes, sir.
So those
Yes, sir.
value will be given in the spectrum. Okay, this is the part of the spectrum. This is nobody has to imagine what value should be. Okay, the value will be automatically it will come. You just need to do processing. Okay. So
Okay,
yeah, any other question? No, right? So I can move forward. Okay, so now we'll come to the Koji spectra. 1H Koji. This is again a simplest one. While doing will be difficult. Okay, instrumentation you have to do so many steps and all, and how the mechanisms are working there to develop this spectrum. Those are quite complicated. But for us, what is important is how the spectra will look like, what is the basic features in the spectra, and how you can utilize that spectra for analyzing your molecular structure. Okay. Now, to understand the 1 Koji spectrum, what actually it shows is in 1H Koji spectrum, definitely it is a 2D spectrum, where the proton NMR, okay, is placed along x-axis and y-axis. In the NOESY, what you have seen, it is just the same. Okay, we are placing the 1H NMR of that particular molecule along the x-axis and the y-axis. Now it will show some spots. What are the spots you will be getting there in the spectrum? So it shows two different types of spots, as we have seen for NOESY. Here it will be quite similar. One is the off-diagonal spots that will tell which are the protons coupling to each other. Okay, in NOESY, what you have seen, which are the protons are closer to each other so that they can interact spatially. Okay, means through space. Here, what are the protons? They are splitting to each other, means they are coupling to each other. That will, those protons will participate to develop the off-diagonal spots. Okay, and another type of spots will be coming from the similar proton from both the axes. Okay, so suppose you have a methyl proton at at x-axis, and the same methyl proton you are coming at y-axis as 1 also. So both the axes, if you extrapolate from their 1 position, where they will meet, that position will be developing one spot. We call it as the diagonal spot. Okay, so as you have seen for the NOESY, the difference between 1H Koji and NOESY is Koji will show the off-diagonal spot due to the proton-proton interactions, which are the proton can do coupling to each other. Okay, In NOESY, it will show the off diagonal spot, proton-proton interactions, which are the protons closer to each other through space, okay, in the space, not bonded, okay, directly. So they are closer in space. So that is the difference. Diagonal spot, both the cases the same, okay. Now let us look at one example. So this is the molecule 2-nitropropane. Now this molecule, to do the COSY, you need to know what is the proton NMR, right? So can anybody tell what could be the proton NMR nature of this molecule? Let me quickly collect from you some information. Okay. So how many signals you'll be looking at? How many types of proton you have? Quickly. Don't delay. Just quickly tell. How many different types of proton you have?
Two types.
Two types. Correct.
Two types.
So you have this methyl, they are same, right? And you have CH. So that means you will see two different signaling. Okay. Now what you have to tell, what will be their splitting pattern? So this CH and this methyl, they are side by side. Okay. So you will see definitely they will be splitting. So what will be the splitting of this methyl proton? N+1, right? So you have, yes, it will be doublet. So both the methyl come together, okay, and they will be projected as doublet. So you will have a doublet for methyl, okay, and this CH, you have multiplet. You have so many.
Quadrate of quadrate.
That means you have multiplet. You can tell when the number is increasing too much, you can directly tell multiplet. Okay. So you have multiplet here. Okay. Now, which proton will come here? Can you tell? Which proton will be having higher ppm chemical shift? This one will have the higher chemical shift, right? And this methyl will have lower chemical shift because nitro is directly connected with this one, CH. Nitro is more electron withdrawing. Okay, so this value, when it will connected directly, it will go above 4. Okay, and it will have the impact of methyl also. So regular hydrocarbon methyl, that will come below 1, but this will be above 1. Okay, so that is our assumption. Let us look at the 1H NMR. So you will see this is the spectrum. This is for methyl, and this is, we are having kind of multiplet. So this is for CH2, right? So that is done. Now what our job is, we have to place this one along x-axis and y-axis, and then we have to see how the COSY spectrum will come. So the molecule you have, methyl comes as a doublet around 1.56. CH comes as a multiplet around 4.66. Okay, and that too, they are interacting through space. So both methyl and CH proton are coupling. These are the information we are having from proton NMR. So if two protons are coupling, we will have two off diagonal spots, okay, and two diagonal spots that are expected, okay, because you have two protons, two different types of protons, so that will show the diagonal spot. And off diagonal spot, they are interacting one interactions, okay, from both axes. Ultimately it will give overall two off diagonal spot. So this is the actual one is COSY spectrum. Okay, here you see the major spots. What we find here is This is a major spot. Actually, if you do the 1H Koji, you will have always a lot of noise there. Okay, it's a very complicated experiment, as I told. Okay, you will have a lot of small spots will be developed, but the major spots will be actually from your compound interactions. Okay, so this is one major spot. You have a major spot here. Okay, you have major spot here, you have major spot here. Okay, so we are getting 4 spots. This one we are considering the diagonal spot, and these 2 we are considering the off diagonal spot. Okay, so 2 off diagonal spots appeared and 2 diagonal spots appeared. We can see the off diagonal spot and we can see the diagonal spot here. Now this off diagonal spot, okay, let me tell the diagonal spot first. So this is methyl, this is also methyl, this is CH2 proton, this is CH2 proton. So diagonal spot will be the methyl from X and methyl from Y, where they will meet, that will have a diagonal spot due to methyl proton. Okay, so you can extrapolate, and you can extrapolate from this side here, and ultimately they are meeting here, so you will have a methyl diagonal spot. Okay, a methyl proton. Similarly, you have the CH2 proton diagonal spot here. You can come from this side, okay, and you can come from this side, so they are matching here, meeting here, so you'll have a diagonal spot. Off diagonal spot, your CH2 and methyl, they are coupling. So from one axis you have to take methyl, another axis you have to take CH2. Okay, so if I take methyl, I am extrapolating here. Okay, this position, if I go this direction, it is reaching to CH2. So that means that will have the due to the coupling. Okay, so this spot is due to the coupling, and that is off diagonal, so it is not in the diagonal. Similarly, you can take the opposite. You take the CH2 from x-axis and methyl from y-axis, so they are meeting here, so you have another off diagonal spot. Okay, now from this spectrum, if you don't have the structure here, just looking at this spectrum, you can tell the CH2 and methyl, they are coupling. Okay, and the molecule has the methyl and CH2. There is no other protonic system. Okay, so this information you can tell, and if you look at the value, you can further predict, like CH2 is having a higher value than methyl, so that means CH2 is definitely connected with some electronegative atom. Okay, and from splitting you can always tell, like your methyl is doublet, CH2 is multiplet, that means they are connected directly to each other. Okay, so the Koji, I think you have understood. Only you have to remember, you have diagonal spot will be appeared due to the proton-proton interactions, the protons which can do coupling to each other. Okay, so that information you will get. Let us come to a yes, tell.
Sir, this one also CH2, yeah, CH spectrum.
Sorry, this is not CH2. I told something wrong. This is, you have the CH. Yeah, so I told wrongly. You actually, this is CH. I wrote here wrongly. So you have CH.
Okay, sir. Okay, sir.
This is I wrote wrong because molecule has the CH. Okay. So you have methyl CH interactions. Okay, methyl proton CH proton interactions. This is CH, not the CH2. Okay. So let us go to a bit complicated example. We have isopentenyl acetate. Okay, so you have so many protons. Now you have different, you have CH3, CH2, CH, okay, carbonyl carbon, a lot of things are there. How the 1H Koji will be looking like. So definitely before going to that, you need to know what should be the proton NMR. So your 1H NMR will be definitely looking like this one. You have methyl Okay, you have CH, CH2, CH2, and you have another methyl here. Okay, so proton number will be looking like this one. If I give the numbering, this methyl, okay, these two methyl will be identical, which will be doublet due to this proton. Okay, and that is far away, so you'll have a doublet. This is one H, this is one, indication is given. Okay, it's one. So this C2 or H2, I can take it. This is I'm indicating by this 2 number. This CH will be multiplet, right? You have the methyl here, you have again CH2 here, so it will be multiplet. Okay, and that appears here, this tiny peak. Okay, CH multiplet, this is coming here. Okay, 2, number is 2. Now you look at CH3, so 3 number. Okay, so here you have the CH2 proton. That will be again a multiplet because you have CH2 nearby, you have nearby CH, so it will be another multiplet. So that is coming here, 3. Okay, then you have CH2, which is connected with the ester group, directly connected with oxygen. So this proton will be very, very dishielded, so its value will be higher. So that is coming here. Okay, generally it should come triplet, but the spectra it shows is not perfect triplet. It is showing some kind of change in the little bit change in the nature of the spectrum, but this is the original spectrum. It will look like. So what we see is that this 4 number is here. Okay, and 6 you have another methyl that is a singlet. Okay, there is no coupling, so you have a singlet here. Okay, around 2 we have nearby carbonyl carbon, so you have around 2. Okay, so this is the proton NMR. Okay, now how the Koji will look like. Okay, so that we have to come in. Now for that, what we will find is we have to first place this proton NMR along the 2 axes. Okay, so the molecule is here. What we can expect from this molecule is that you have 5 different types of protons. Okay, so 1, 2, 3, 4, and 5. This 6 number is 5. 5 number there is no proton. So there are 5 different types of protons. Okay, so you will see 5 diagonal spots. Okay, so diagonal spot will be 5. Off diagonal spot, that will be coming due to the interactions, the protons which are coupling. So you can see a coupling between 1 and 2. So you have 1, 2, that will show off diagonal spot. You have 2 off diagonal spot. One is top side, another is bottom side. That you know already. For one coupling, you will always see 2 off diagonal spots. Okay. You have 2, 3 coupling. So 2, 3 coupling. Okay. So you have another set of off diagonal spot. Okay. And you have 3, 4 coupling. 3, 4 coupling. Okay. So you will see another set of off diagonal spot. That means you will have total 6 off diagonal spot. Okay. That is our expectation. Now let us look at the Koji spectra of this molecule. Here the number is already placed 1, 3, 2, 6, and 4 to make it more easier. And this axis, let us put the number also. So you have 1, 3. This is the number given. Okay. Now it's a very complicated, right? A lot of spots, and which one is for what. Okay, for a lemon it will be very, very difficult, but when you know this one, it's not so much difficult. If you look at, okay, let me give another one. Okay, let us first tell the off diagonal spot. So 1, 2 is coupling. Okay, so what we have to do, you have to take 1 and 2 1 from one axis and 2 from another axis. We have to extrapolate where it will meet. We'll see a spot. Okay, so you have 1 and 2. Let us take the 1 from the x-axis. Okay, so 1 and 2 from y-axis. Okay, so 1 I am extrapolating and I am coming here, okay, to achieve 2. So this is this way you move it. Here it is matching. Okay, here it is meeting. So you have a spot here that we have designated as A prime. So this is one off diagonal spot. So you will have another spot if you take the reverse way. Okay, so take 2 from x-axis and 1 from y-axis. So 2 from x-axis and 1 from y-axis. So they are meeting here. Okay, so you will have another off diagonal spot. So this is designated as A1. A. So you see the 2 green color I have indicated. So this 2 is due to the interactions of 1 proton and 2 proton. Okay, so 1 type of proton and here 2 types of proton. Okay, similarly you have 3 and 4. You look at 3 and 4. So this is easier. This is 4. So let us extrapolate it, and from 3. Okay, so these 2 are meeting here. So you have a spot here. So 3, 4. You take the opposite. Take 4 from y. Okay, and extrapolate it to reach to the 3 from x. So here is your 3. You just drag it and it will meet here. Okay, are getting? So you will have 2 off diagonal spots that are due to the interactions of 3 and 4 protons from both the axes. And now you come to the 2 and 3. So you have 2 and 3. So take 3 from this, okay, and 2 from here. So this will meet here. And if you take 3 from here, y-axis, and 2 from x-axis, this will meet here. Okay, so that 2 off diagonal spots. Okay, that is those are coming due to the interactions of 2 and 3 protons. So these are the off diagonal spot. Diagonal spot, you take the same similar type of protons. So here you have 1 from x, 1 from y. So if you extrapolate, that will meet here. You have 1 diagonal spot. If you go for 3, okay, so 3 you extrapolate, and 3 you extrapolate, that will meet here. Okay, so this is your 3, which is the diagonal spot. Okay, 3, 3 interaction. So you have from x-axis 3, y-axis 3. This is coming here. You would take from 2 proton. Okay, this is coming, extrapolate it. It is coming here. Okay, and from y here and x here, they are meeting. So this will be another diagonal spot for 2, and 4 you will have here. Okay, so from x-axis this, from y-axis this, that are meeting. So that is another diagonal spot. Okay, so these are the different diagonal and off diagonal spots of this particular molecule. Okay, what you have to do, you have to be very, very careful to identify your spots. Okay, as I told, this is a complicated experiment. You will have a lot of tiny spots here and there. Okay, but your spots which will be interacting, okay, that you will get very nicely. And always you have to do extrapolation from both the axes and see where it is meeting. If they are meeting, you will see some interactions. Okay, so that you will get as the spots. Okay, so this is one. If you look at the TMS also, it is coming off diagonal. I mean the diagonal spots here. Here you will have a TMS, and this side also the TMS. If you extrapolate, so that is also coming in the diagonal. Okay, so those things you are having. This is about this molecule. I hope you got the point, right? So let us move to the another class of spectrum, which is the heterocore head core spectrum. Now, head core means you are considering two different types of nuclei in a same molecule, okay, and two different types of spectra you are considering, and you are trying to look at their interactions, okay, their relations. So particularly in head core spectrum, this is also 2D NMR spectrum where the proton decoupled 13C is placed along the x-axis, okay. So x-axis you have proton decoupled 13C, okay, 13C, and y-axis you have the proton NMR, okay. What it reveals? It reveals the spots only that tells about which carbon has what type of proton, okay, which carbon is having what type of proton. That information you will be getting from a head core spectrum. What is the spectrum? Your x-axis will have 13C, y-axis will have proton NMR of the same molecule, okay, and then you will have the spot generation. That spot will tell which carbon is having what type of proton, okay, that will show the spots. So I'll show the spectra, then it will be easier to understand what actually I'm trying to mean. So let us take the simplest molecule again, 2-nitropropane. So 1H NMR, you know, like this one, as we have seen earlier, and you have 13C, this one. So you have two types of carbon. One is methyl carbon, okay, another is CH carbon, okay. This is methyl proton, you have CH proton, okay. Now if you place this one here, you know already, that's why it is easier. If you place this one, I am marking here the CH3, this as 1, CH as 2. So what we get is the 1H is telling you have hydrogen of methyl comes at 1.56 ppm. If you look at the 1H NMR, the 13C is telling you have carbon is coming at 21 ppm, okay. So what you will see in the 2D spectrum head core, a common spot due to these two values, okay. So this, from these two value, if you extrapolate, they will meet a position, there you will get a spot, okay, getting. So that is you are going to get. Similarly, for CH you have the proton value, the chemical shift is around 4.66 in the proton NMR, and the corresponding carbon is having 78 ppm, okay. Now what you will see, that two will meet where that place you will see a spot, okay. So this is your head core spectrum, where here I am marking it. This is you have 1 in the 13C, this is 2, you have 13C, okay. This is the methyl proton, you have written 1, or it is 1 designated as this is 2, okay. Now what you will see, if you take 1 and 1, that take 1 from x-axis and take 1 from y-axis, they are meeting here, okay, they are meeting here. So this is the 13C value you are taking, okay, this is 13C value you are taking, and this is proton value you are taking, and you are extrapolating, they are meeting here. So that means this particular proton value, this particular proton is connected with this carbon, okay. This is the information you are getting. This proton is connected with this particular carbon. Similarly, if you take 2, so this is the proton from proton, and this is from 13C. So they are meeting here, okay. So that tells this proton is connected with this particular carbon, okay. You are getting just 2 spots, okay. This is simplest. This is telling the information that which proton is attached with which particular carbon. That information you are getting, okay. I think it's clear, right? Any queries quickly? So time is running out. I'll just finish it within few minutes.
Sir, please explain it once again.
Once again, okay. So what I'm telling is, this head code is telling, first of all, the head code, what is the criteria? You have to put the 13C of the molecule along the x-axis, okay? And proton NMR along the y-axis, okay? And now, actually in the instrument, what you will see, it will show this spectrum. Some spot you will get it, okay? Now, where you will get the spot, you just go extrapolate along y-axis and x-axis perpendicular to each other, where that will meet, that two atoms are connected. Understood? So here you got the spot. Okay, let me extrapolate this direction to find out the carbon. Let me extrapolate to this direction to find out the hydrogen. Okay, so this is the hydrogen and this is the carbon. That means this hydrogen and this carbon, they are bonded. Okay, this carbon is bearing this hydrogen. They are bonded with each other. This is the information you are getting. Similarly, you have a spot here. Okay, you move this direction, you travel this direction. So you will reach two places. One is carbon place, another is proton place. Okay, so that means that two atom, the carbon and proton, they are connected. They are bonded to each other. Okay, this information you are getting. Is it clear?
Okay, sir.
So next example, you will see how we are going to find out actually. Okay, so let me give the molecule. So you have again the same molecule. Okay, isopentenyl acetate, isopentyl acetate. Okay, now this one, this is the 13C NMR, and this is the proton NMR. Okay, so you have proton NMR, 13C NMR. So suppose you have assigned your proton peaks. Okay, but you don't know which carbon is for which particularly which carbon. Understood? You got the signals of carbon, you don't know which one is for what. Okay, what you know only which proton is coming where. Okay, that you have suppose designated. Now let us come to the the head core spectrum, then you will understand. So this is your isopentyl acetate. You have, this is the head core spectrum. Okay, now I know where are the protons. Okay, I know the proton types. So this is, I have given as 1, 3, 2, 6, 4. So 1, this is 3, this is 2, this is 6, this is 4. Okay, that protons I have assigned. Okay, now the thing is, which proton is attached with what carbon? That is my question. Okay, now what you do is, from this proton you try to travel. Okay, and find out whether you are having any spot in its way. So you are getting a spot in its way. Okay, what you do, from that spot you travel perpendicular to find out the carbon. Okay, so this is the carbon you are getting. So this carbon means this particular proton is attached with this carbon, so this will be 1. Okay, similarly you travel from 3, proton type 3. So you are traveling this direction, okay, to find out any spot is there or not. You are getting a spot here. Okay, immediately you start traveling perpendicular to that way. Okay, and you are reaching here. So that means this is your 3. Okay, so this carbon is attached with this proton. Okay, similarly you have 2 here. So proton 2, this you are traveling in this direction. You are reaching here a spot and you started traveling perpendicular to that your previous direction. Okay, and you are reaching here. So this is your another carbon which is having the proton, 2 types of proton, this proton 2. Okay, and you have here proton 4. So if you start traveling, you are getting very near one spot, and if you go and do a long travel, you will reach here the carbon. Okay, and that is type 4. That means this proton 4 is connected with this particular carbon. Okay. So this way you can find out what carbon is connected with what type of proton. If you know the protons, you can easily tell which type of proton is connected. Okay. And if you look at the 6, you have this is 6. Okay. So this, you are traveling this direction, you are reaching here, you have a spot here, then you try to find out what is the carbon. So you got a carbon here. So this is your 6. So this carbon is having this type of proton. Okay. So this is the information you are getting. You can, if you know the proton NMR, you can find out what carbon. If you don't know proton NMR also, what you can get from the spot, you just start traveling 2 different directions perpendicular to each other. Okay. And you will reach at carbon and the corresponding proton. Okay. And that means that proton is connected with that particular carbon. Okay. So you got the information. Is it clear now?
Yes, sir.
So what you will do is, I will give one problem. So that problem you try to solve it. Okay. And we'll see in the next class with some different topics. Okay. So here I'll, okay, these are the proton spot. Okay. So here you have the problem. So how the DEPT 45, 90 and 135 will be looking, okay, for this particular molecule, as well as the COSY and head core of this molecule. Okay. So you have to draw the COSY and head core spectrum as well as the DEPT spectrum of this molecule. It's the very simplest one. You just have a practice. Okay. So then you will understand by yourself. Okay. So if you don't have any queries, I'll quit here. We'll meet again in the next class. So thank you for attending today's class.
Thank you, sir.
Thank you, sir.
Thank you, sir.